And that trigger pull.
Yeah.
Oh. It's nice.
Nice.
Just clicks.
As it should do. So yeah, we spent a lot of time last session on the road, riding, procuring a horse and cart, and riding west into the sunset towards the town of Bedenreach.
Yeah, we met a farmer too.
Did we? I don't remember.
Yeah, right at the end.
A poor cripple farm boy.
Yeah, he was a zombie, came back.
And Gav suggested that he go to the temple and hang out.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, I completely don't remember that. I remember finding that.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the last 5 minutes, I think.
And I was meant
Yeah,
to drop
no,
the spell, Jed, before I commanded him to go there, or
Yeah.
charmed him, whatever. So I want to
Suggestion.
drop the
Suggestion,
spell
yeah.
after like 2 or 3 hours.
I think you told me that, yeah. Okay.
Parkinson's died, is he?
Good.
Alan Partridge. Son.
No, he's not.
Parky.
Okay. Fucking pile of crap, mate. Right, fine. Sorry, lads.
Man, he's always looked old.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is old.
Yeah, but he's looked
Well,
old since about 1972.
It's not any old anymore. I mean, that's him in the 80s. Still fucking looked old.
Okay.
Eat worm food now.
Know that I've asked these things before, but before we get started, I'm going to ask a couple of things. Give me a sec. Stay the line, Jed. Where the fuck are my notes?
42.
Can everybody remind me of their passive investigation and their passive perception, please? Gex, your passive investigation.
Investigation is 9. Perception's 14.
Thank you. Gav, your passive investigation, please.
18.
And your perception?
13.
Sam, your passive investigation, please.
And 17.
10 and 17. And Vic?
15 across the board. So
15 for both.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll get everybody to remind me which languages they speak, please. Again, I'll start. Gex, which languages do you have, please?
Common, Dwarvish, Orc.
Yep, brilliant. Okay, Gav?
Common, Dwarvish, Orc, Elvish, Draconic, and Telepathy.
Yep, okie dokie. Sam?
Is that a language? Sorry. Halfling,
Yeah.
Infernal, and Shoes.
Shunies, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Bottom line.
And Vic, please?
Aquan, is it? Common,
Yeah.
Draconic, Druidic, Giant, Selvin.
Sylvan, yep. Yep. Okay, excellent. Brilliant. It is late afternoon when you catch your first insight of your first glimpse of Bedenreach. The mountains, the hills, the peaks have been gradually looming up on you, peering over the horizon across this second day on the road, travelling west from Ansel. First, there were only peaks visible to Merkin and Mortimer soaring overhead, circling, and then on the road, That moment where you aren't sure if they are clouds or not. But then you become certain these are solid masses of rock and snow, and below forest and washes of heather and grass and bog, leading down to the source of the River Beck. These Bedden Hills start small and tower into mountains that would take weeks now, perhaps, to get as far as you all can see. There are no roads that a horse can pass through there. And just as the sea to the east holds its grandeur and presents a frontier for those who know how to navigate it, and a barrier for those who do not, so too do the hills to the west. Some of you will have heard rumours about deep, dark drow colonies inside those mountains. Others may have heard nothing at all, but they loom, and they come closer, and they come closer. The countryside is quiet, and you can have a clear sense of why. There are a few insects, there are a few roaming animals, but there are a few. It is not barren. The fields have not been stripped of life. But truly you come across no people until you gain your first glimpse there of Bedenreach, the town nestled beneath the foothills of the Bedden themselves, where the river starts to climb, and above it is only falling spray and rushing white. And clearly from the hill that you crest there, you see the chimneys at the docks, you see the buildings, you see the evening light gleaming, just beginning to duck behind these hills. But for now it is hard and sharp in your eyes, and lights are being lit in the town of Bedenreach. Is there anything you are looking for, anything you're doing to prepare as you ride in towards town?
Looking for an inn. Well,
Signs
look,
of
actually,
life.
yeah, signs of damage or corpses or anything.
Yeah. Sounds of like, so
War.
there
If
is,
there's chimneys smoking, I'm pretty confident we're good.
there
Yeah.
are smoking chimneys, there are lamps being lit, you can see lights being lit next to the river, and you can tell clearly from the reflection of the light upon the water that this is a dock that
Yeah,
stretches along.
presumably Dearborn would have said this place was a fucking zombie first.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, Dearborn has confirmed that it is occupied, that he has met with people, that he brings back newsletters, he has dropped
Yeah.
off.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that was 2 days
We're
ago.
done.
It's true, it was 2 days ago.
They're already turning back.
And no boats have come down your way. But boats there are. You can see them now, bobbing, moored up. And as you draw closer, there are boxes, barrels, crates, nets, piled high on the dock. almost the first building you come to. In fact, yeah, there are outlying homes, small places on the edge of town, but reaching Bedden Reach proper, there is an inn. Jethro, you said you were looking for one.
Yeah.
It has a stable. It is clearly equipped to accept travellers. The sign names it the Bed and Rest, imaginatively.
That's exactly what you want from an inn.
Yeah. Someone has an eye for advertising, perhaps.
What time of day did you say it was? Sorry.
It is late afternoon, but it is dark here. The sun has crept behind the hill. And you get the impression that, yeah, that although you have ridden west and in theory sunset should be later, it is earlier, in fact, than you would. The lights are lit. There are candles lit inside the Bed and Rest as you ride up upon it, and you can see the crackle of a fireplace. One in the front, one in the back. Two men.
Bostic's with
Yep,
us, yeah?
yep. Bostic,
just to-
Bostic has ridden with you. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Cool.
And he starts licking his lips as you ride up on it.
All right, well, Bostic, why don't you take the lead and we can split any expenses.
When you suggest this, he starts to look a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Well, this is a fine place to
But
nothing wrong with the place. I'll go in and you want to stay
no,
here?
seriously, hang on. What's up?
Give me.
An insight check?
Yeah, I think an insight check is the one.
Because it'd be a bit weird if they didn't like dwarves here, but I totally bum my insight check, so.
What was your total there?
F5.
5. Yeah, he seems uncomfortable, but eventually kind of lifts himself up to move over there. I'm going to invite Jethro to make me an insight check as well.
Well, I mean, I'm walking in with them, you know what I mean? Like, that was
Yeah.
the plan. I just want him to do the talking.
13.
13. He's looking at you when he feels uncomfortable.
I'll take the lead.
I think I know why. Cool, let Jethro take the lead.
Yeah.
I always thought it was like, we don't like your kind around here. And then the half orc goes, I'll do it.
I'll bomb open the saloon doors and stroll up to the bar.
Follow him in.
And a dwarf man looks from behind.
Hello there.
And is kind of dumbstruck for a second. Chews his mustache and looks up and says, "What the fuck do you think you're doing here?"
We are seeking rooms and board.
He's a fucking scouser.
I don't think so, mate. We don't serve yous here.
What
Yous
do
can
you
fuck
mean
off
use
down the
it?
docks and pick something off the boats there.
What do you
Don't
mean?
they feed you in your bloody kennel?
Excuse me?
Neighbours.
They loom over him.
I'm going to say in character.
What do you say?
Slavers.
Oh. I'm a real boy. I don't sleep in a kennel.
I can confirm he is a real boy.
Bostic's shuffling behind you. Doesn't step in. Doesn't say much.
Right, you don't want our money. We'll find somewhere better.
It's a pretty poor business model, you ask me.
Now listen, the rest of you can put him in the stable if you like, but
Yeah, fuck off. I'm just going to turn and walk off.
Yeah.
As we leave, Jed,
yeah.
can I hex him? And Constitution.
You're casting a hex, and the guy has disadvantage on Constitution ability checks.
Yeah, I just want to make him feel sick.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
No
That's
to
problem.
my
work that
role
together.
play thing.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
kind of my role play thing as we're leaving. I'll just say, I'll try it under my mouth and then turn around and point at him or something.
Sam, we can coordinate that with a suggestion spell if you were to hex people's wisdom for future
I-
reference.
No, we can't because it doesn't affect saves.
It
Oh, okay.
literally only affects ability checks, of
Yeah,
which
so
Constitution
just-
ability checks are incredibly rare. But
Yeah, I'm just trying to flavour it as I want to make him feel sick but not do any damage.
okay.
You know,
Yeah.
just be weak or something the next day. So,
Yeah.
The
I'll
hex
say,
of diarrhea.
well, I wish you a very shitty day. And then I'll
I
stroll out.
cast small your dick.
yeah.
Yeah.
I cast
Stroll
grumbly
out.
tummy.
Stroll out of there.
Yeah.
Cast
I
upon
mean-
you the herp.
As we leave, I'm going to say to him over time, but we could have killed him.
Yeah, but we're here to talk to the dwarf nation or whatever they are, and starting by killing some asshole, starting by killing some dwarf, even though he is an asshole, it's probably not the best way to do it, especially not for interracial relationships or I don't know. We're the king's back.
Interspecies.
As you're saying this, I'll turn to Bostic and say, Bostic, is it like this up the hill?
Yeah. I mean, I know Jethro's all right. I know he's a good bloke, but
Which are him?
not everybody does.
Your people
So that's
are
all right,
not-
and-
are not fans of my people, is what you're saying.
Well, it goes both ways, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah. No. Well, you guys have been, you know, you've killed enough of us, and it was a war for a long time, wasn't it?
We are from the mountains. Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't raised by his own people, was he?
Oh,
He spent his entire time with somebody else.
I wasn't
Yeah.
part of that. Yeah.
Well,
You
fuck
can-
it, gentlemen. I can cast my tiny hut spell, and we can
Sleep in the
sleep in the
middle of the
wilds
road.
for one night. Yeah.
Just cast it in the middle of the street, like literally.
Do you know anybody?
Boss is making another little face, and eventually he pipes up and says, "Well, there's another place on
Yeah.
the dock, like."
Yeah, but
Not-
like you said, it's
not
on
a
the
kennel.
dock.
No,
Honestly.
it's just called the kennel. It's got beds and that.
Oh,
Are they? Is it run by a cunt?
He's not different kind of cunt.
He's not a racist.
Oh, you get all sorts of folks working at the docks. It's just a bit rough, you know.
hey, if it's a place to sleep that'll take
Well,
coin without any fuss,
We can
Well,
handle rough.
I don't need a fancy bed. Let's go. I guess we 180 back to the docks.
Yeah, womble down.
I'm going to cast Disguise Self and disguise myself as a dwarf.
Fair enough.
Are you doing this in a way that's just in the street as people are walking?
Yeah.
Ding.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
No.
Fine.
No, I don't think so, because they'll think I'm some sort of fucking changeling, wouldn't they? Just in a quiet moment. It doesn't take long to do, does it?
No.
Titus,
Right, it's an
you
action.
suddenly look less ugly.
Oh, thank you. Maybe we'll stand a better chance against these racists if there's a couple of dwarfs in the party, eh?
Maybe I can re-educate them, percussively.
Don't the dwarves have any life debt style laws in there?
I think you've been reading too much Warhammer.
Yeah.
It's Warhammer.
Exactly.
It's one of
I've
these.
got a warhammer.
Yeah.
And a fine one it is too, Bostic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always pay our debts.
Oh, you do?
That's for sure.
All right, Lanston.
All right, yeah. Stroll towards this place.
I've only been down here a couple of times. My dad had us bring some iron to the old warehouse. There are a number of warehouses on the dock. They're lined up. Each is marked with a what you can probably ascertain is something like a family crest, festooned with dwarvish runes. Those of you who can read dwarvish will make out what are pretty clearly family names, although in that classical dwarven style. And in fact, Bostic might have been explaining if there was a quiet moment on the, if anybody thought to ask on the cart, what's going on with these. If not, anybody who wants to say they already knew can make a history check.
Yeah, I would like to do that because
Yeah.
knowing Dwarvish and, being the smarty pants.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Obadiah, make the history check, definitely, and then we'll fill in the gaps.
23.
23. So, in a similar way to, old Scots families, there are families, there are family names, but there are clans and houses. And so most dwarves living in the traditional way will also belong to, it's almost like a large company. And so Mazenhal isn't especially segregated. There is mixing between these, but you've got a degree of there is a degree of loyalty and a degree of belonging between dwarves of the same clan. And a degree of rivalry between dwarves of other clans. These warehouses seem to be demarcated for that. Bostic being Bostic Bright Iron is of a group whose name roughly just translates to metals. There are metal dwarves, there are stone dwarves, there are heavy dwarves. There are heat-wielding dwarves. And this isn't a significant difference, but there's a degree of rivalry. Your analogy might come to something like a military company or a mercantile company, where with a particular firm, with a particular academy, you will have known wizards who trained in a different arcane tradition. They will have trained in a different place that you then have some degree of innate rivalry with, and vice versa, with wizards that trained in the same school as you, regardless of whether you ever met them or not. You feel a sense of kinship if you were to read their name in an old grimoire, or hear it in a story, something like that. And so dwarves have that sense of imagined community and division in there.
Oh, every society needs a structure.
Yeah. And so the warehouses are aligned along the dock lines, and they are segregated in that way, where each belongs to a different family.
So, Bostic, is the reason for this, is there a caste order in this segregation of these warehouses?
I don't think anybody's better than anybody else.
They're just different.
It's who we share with, it's who we don't.
Yeah, interesting.
Sorry, I had to
My education didn't include all that.
chuck a wasp out the window. Third one today.
Chuck bees out, kill wasps.
Nah, they're fine. They don't bother me. Maybe they kill bedbugs. I don't know.
Yeah, they
Probably
probably do.
As we're wandering towards
Yeah.
the dock, I want to be watching Bostic's mannerisms and those around and try and mimic them.
Yeah, sure. You can pitch a roll to me there, Sam, if you'd like.
Perception, I suppose.
Deception, yeah.
16.
16, yeah, okay. Now, after a little bit, you can work out how he's walking. You can work out what he's looking at and what he isn't.
Pardon me.
I forgive you. And, you know, who he's nodding at, maybe who he isn't.
Yep.
Jethro is getting fewer looks and stares walking through this area.
I'll offer polite nods that passes by.
The dock seems full of goods, and there are boats tied up and moored, but they are not loaded, they are not laden, they sit high on the water. There are men in workers' uniforms, and although it's late in the day, they are standing around idly.
So as we're walking, I'd just like to ask Jethro, so Jethro is like, you're half orc, half human, aren't you?
Yes, I think.
Oh,
That's for
okay.
you to decide, Gex.
Just wondering.
Let's go with yeah. Can't remember if I actually wrote it in my backstory.
I don't know who your mother is.
Neither do I.
Fair.
Perhaps Jethro doesn't.
All
Was-
right. Well, this place looks pretty. They'll probably be happy to hear they can maybe start shipping stuff downriver again.
Well, if that's why they stopped, yeah.
Well, I mean, they'll probably still need guards on boats, but we'll probably easily get a boat downriver, especially if we can provide protection.
Oh, yeah, we could certainly do that.
So, Bedden Reach, should it have a lord? A Lord Bedden? A mayor? Something along those lines? An
Oh.
alderman?
See, it's and Bostic will coin up on here. It's a funny one that because it's sort of part of the mountain, like
So
you
if
know
we
the
are.
Mazenhal office, and then there's the you know there's the Crown office as well because it's Beckland as well. So Mr. Beck's son keeps his office up here as well.
Oh, you didn't think of mentioning that? Or maybe you did.
I don't know.
I think you
Maybe.
actually did. Yeah. All right. Well, we better go see young Beck tomorrow morning. But obviously tonight we'll eat and rest.
Aye.
So where's this kennel?
Just along. See where it curves. It's built into the corner. And you've walked past a few of these warehouses now. You know, those of you again who read Dwarvish will make out metals. You will make out the name that just means hill. The names that just mean moving weight. The names that mean standing firm. They are all, you know, dwarven virtues. Whether they actually refer to anything, whether there's any common traits among these family members, these clan members, it's hard to say, but they seem proud of something.
I'll take note of them because if we're in negotiation with dwarves later, displaying some of these could be a bonus.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. It's something that could be relevant. Things are mostly boxed up. You're not able to make out goods just by walking by. That would maybe require a slight prying. So as to, you know, whether one family is dealing more in coal, family is dealing more in weapons. That's harder to spot.
Yeah,
But
not
certainly
particularly interested in what's here.
if you're getting in bed with one and making enemies of another, that would be a way of doing it.
I gotta take a leak. I'm back in a sec.
Yeah, I'll wait until Gav is back before narrating the next bit.
Mm.
Okay. I've had a weird old day and trying to work out whether I'm going to throw some horrible stuff at you lads, just to be a real prick.
Mm.
Maybe
please.
maybe I will do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ball of fire.
Back.
Here it is.
All right, let's head on to the inn. Yeah.
Yar.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. So as you're walking on past, you hear a kind of rumbling, creaking, and you realise that like the whipping and tightening of ropes on a ship. And you look up, for that's where it's coming from, above you slightly, the way that the land is shaped. And you notice that you hadn't before ropes with wooden and metal supports running up the hillside. And the ropes creak, the ropes whir, and a great wooden and glass capsule lifts from the ground and creeps up the ropes as they track and they creak and they whir and they wind towards a spot on the hill illuminated by a lantern some way up.
Interesting.
What the hell's that?
What's that? What's that, Bostic?
Oh, that's the gondola. That's the way into the upper mountain. It's not the only way in, like, but that's
Oh. Probably a pretty speedy one.
yeah, it's
What other ways in are there?
oh, you just take the main road in. We've got the main gates. All the goods come in and out that way. All the carts and that.
Well, that's just for people.
Yeah, the gondola. Yeah, you gotta cost a little more for a ticket. I've never been on it, but folks going up into the upper mountain.
Well,
They
I
go that
wager
way.
we can afford a ticket this time round.
Yeah. I got a few gold in my pocket now.
All right, well, let's see how bad this place is. We'll take that ticket in the morning.
All right.
Walking in, no more really. You can make out the sign for the inn, the cot and kennel, down at the end of the dock. Again, the lamp is lit. There's a man, probably a dumpy human rather than a dwarf, smoking cigarettes, one after the other, barely moving. He's finishing one and rolling another in front of you. But he looks towards you, narrows his eyes slightly. Bostic stops at the porch, rocks on his heels a little.
Hello there.
The man looks your way, looks you over and across, and says, "Evening."
Looking for board? Heard this was the place.
Yeah, I can see they wouldn't let you in the bedding.
Yeah, what's
in the-
that?
in the
What's that
rest.
all about?
Well, you guys really aren't from here, are you?
Well, apart from that guy.
And me.
No, Titus, you're not from here either.
Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
he's from
Is
up
it-
the
is
hill.
it
Oh,
this guy?
sorry, yeah. Sorry.
He's from up the hill. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's all this? They got a problem with orcs?
Yeah, mate. They've got a problem with orcs.
Well, I mean,
You know.
I'm gonna
I'll
have
roll
to,
my eyes while I
I'm
find
a-
out
the
together.
fucking polymorph spell or something.
well, I'm a nice guy. But honestly, they shouldn't have a problem with me.
The
I can
guy
attest to that.
gets a wry smile over his face. Says, well, day I meet an orc that's a nice guy, day maybe he can buy me a drink, eh?
Sure, I'll buy you a drink.
Fucking hell.
We have a problem in here, I say, pointing to the kennels.
No, they'll serve you all right.
Oh, good. What's your name?
What is his name? Kinver.
Kinver, Jethro Chadwick, and my companions. We're looking for a room.
Well, head on
That's some
inside.
booze.
Head on inside and speak to Bryce.
All right.
We're not so busy just yet, so you'll be all right.
All right. No worries. I'll stroll inside.
The door creaks. The floor creaks. It's slightly sticky. There are candles lit on the tables already, deep enough to make out the back wall is raw stone,
Oh yeah.
but the place is boarded top and bottom with a few pillars. There are a couple of older men on a table playing cards.
Model them.
No, this is more like it.
And another dwarf at the
All right.
So, you must be Bryce, did he say?
Bryce is right, Bryce is right.
You've got rooms, do you?
Oh yeah,
An ale.
Oh yes, ale.
Rome's ale, touch too much ale at the minute, to be honest. It's piling up, eh?
Well, I can help liberate you of some of it.
If you gentlemen are looking for a place to stay, will you be having a room each, or?
I don't know. How much are they?
There's a look and a nod and a smile to Wells. If you'd be just staying there one night, I could feed you dinner and breakfast, room each for 2 gold apiece.
Sounds like a deal. I'll slap him 10 gold. And give him another one and say, get your man out. Get that man out front a drink. He's looking thirsty.
That price doesn't include drinks, you know. So, but
All right, well, I'll slap down another gold. Round of drinks and one for your man outside.
right, you are, sir. He scoops them all up. Jethro's perception is good enough that the last 2 gold pieces don't go into the same pouch as the previous 5.
Oh yeah, we're totally being fucking fleeced.
That's
But
fine.
he comes back with
But that's what you do with tourists.
Oh,
a
yeah.
decent flagon for each of you, one for himself,
Yeah.
and carries another one out to the door.
All right.
Just find yourselves a seat, gentlemen. Are we coming to take your orders in a few minutes?
All right. Thank you, Bryce. Good of you.
What,
Sorry, is it Boris or Bryce?
Bryce.
Okay. And he sounds like John Lennon.
Yeah, sure.
More talented.
You're in the northwest, yeah?
God. Does that mean you're going to do a Newcastle accent eventually?
That's
Probably
when we get to Mazenhal.
Yeah.
Very dark, is he?
All right, I'll pick up a. I'd like to go for a table that's near enough to the guys that are here.
Yeah, sure.
the
Yeah,
old
A
men.
table of the old men playing
Yeah,
cards.
absolutely. Yeah, there's 4 guys sat there, and they're just they're chatting. They're chatting about what their sons are doing, or it's no
What
good letting
are they like?
well
What,
dog.
in their 50s or something?
They,
Are they
there's
human?
a
Are they
there's a
dwarves,
human there's a human man who is 60 if he's a day. The other 3 are dwarves and are probably much older than that. Again, they might be 200.
All right.
One of them's hands shake a little. He's a little unsteady. He looks older than the others. You can see the bones in his knuckles, but he's still stout.
It seems this place could be doing better business, gentlemen. What?
It would.
Bit
All
quiet
the
in here.
boxes. All the boxes outside, all stacked up on the pier,
Oh,
not moving downriver. No, nobody's making money. Is that correct?
yeah, they won't let the lads work. Oh, it's a travesty, to be honest, if you ask me, because it's, what's going to come to them, what harm's going to come to them. As you say, nobody can make any money, nobody can do any work. They're not paying any wages, and everyone's just sitting around bored. It's a recipe for trouble, because everyone's all riled up. And mercifully, to be honest, old Tully's had the sense not to let them drink all day either. But now the sun's down, well, I say you lads have chosen the right time to get a table, to be honest.
Oh, that's good to hear. Look, aren't we lucky? We might actually bring some good news. Who knows? We're
Oh,
Kingsmen from High Lurie, and we've ridden up the river all the way.
You are Kingsmen in the Cotton Kennel. Well, I never thought I would see it.
I'll show my
Yeah.
Well,
my badge.
No, I'll say in like dwarfish to the guys that are here.
Yeah.
Like, no offense, gentlemen. And then I'll switch back to English or common. And I was like,
Mm.
but that asshole down the other place wouldn't let our friend here join or stay, so we had to come here.
I understand that.
Didn't think things were so bad between us all. Nevertheless, anyway, we've there was evil doings afoot on the river. 2 days to the east, and a few days past that as well. But we've taken care of some of it. So maybe some boats can get through, provided they've got guard.
Oh. And you reckon old Rousselet's office will let Mr. Beck sign off on the shipments going out then, would you?
That's
I'll
Beck
wager.
Jr. you're talking about, is it? Son of Beck?
Son of Beck. They've been adding hands around the necks of this town for a little while, to be honest.
Oh yeah, not a
Well,
fan.
it's with great sadness that I must tell you that Lord Beck himself has passed.
The older dwarf spits on the floor,
You know,
but doesn't say anything and lays down a card.
I'll spit with him.
Spits all round. I'll spit.
Yeah. Ping!
He met an unfortunate end in the disaster that occurred.
Yeah, but you know,
Unfortunate.
how
Quotation
younger
marks.
Beck doesn't know of his father's passing just yet. So let's maybe keep that between us until we have a chance to talk to him.
You guys look trustworthy, yeah?
We don't say much, do we, lads?
Oh, I'm
And-
sure you say lots. What else do all men do? But don't talk. I'm sure you don't run in the same circles as young Lord Beck, do you? Though.
Well, we're very well cultured, you know. And the old dwarf now pipes up and lifts from his knee his pipe that is smouldering slightly and points the mouthpiece of the pipe at you. And he says, I admit, that prick fucking Beck 30 years ago. 30 summers. When his son was just walking. And then 20 before that. Where he came and did all the... Well, he settled things. And things ran better. For a while. So we thought peace will be it, peace will be it. Folks can walk the streets at night and that, but fuck me, it was horrible. We'd have been better with... and he points the mouthpiece of the pipe now towards Jeff. We'd have been better with them still running loose and... Well, not telling us. They made it a touch more fun, to be honest.
So he what?
Well,
He cracked down on the orcs around here, then I guess.
Oh, yeah, we'd put it that way. It was because of him that you would be, well, where you are and what it is.
how far did the apple fall from the tree about this younger Beck?
Yeah. He's, well, he's sly. Is what he is.
Well,
He is.
And the other two dwarves nod when they say sly. The human man
I'll,
doesn't so much, but...
when they're nodding, I'll slap Bostic on the back and say, "We could have told you that." Give him a arm around the shoulder.
right, lads. Well, let's get a table, get some food into us. We have a long day ahead up at the mountain tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bryce comes back through and says, I hope you don't know, I was joking about menus and orders, but we will have some pork ready in about an hour. Gonna get you some bread and some, we've dried fruit. We'll have a few things ready before then, if
Sure.
you're really that hungry.
Oh, we're in no rush. Well, except he's always hungry. We'll
Well,
do with a few ales though to start with.
Oh, yes.
We already got them, don't we?
You've got your ales to start, and the ale itself is bready to the taste as it is.
Beautiful.
Like John Smith's.
Yeah.
Or what's that one?
And the
called?
door
Boddington's.
cracks again, and there are a couple of the men that you saw idle, standing by the bobbing boats and the work, and the piled up crates. Human men, dwarf men. Again, one Goliath walking through. Burly, worn out, pissed off looking, but a steady stream of them for the next half an hour in little drabs. And what you were promised was exactly that. You chose the right time to get the seats. By the time you've ordered your second pints, the bar is 2 or 3 deep, with everybody getting their first round of what will likely prove to be a few.
I'm gonna go back up to Bryce at the point of 2 or 3 rounds and offer to get everyone in the place a drink.
Sheesh.
Everyone. Oh, well.
Well, this place has fallen on hard times, and a little bit of the king's coin isn't gonna go amiss from his coffers, is it?
On the
So-
king.
So why don't you? Don't worry about the king, but make sure everyone gets another pint on me anyway. Or us, maybe.
And
Would be a better way to say it.
you'd like that announced, would you? The
Oh, no. Just say next one's for everyone.
as it were, then, sir. I would say another 10 of your coins should cover it.
Well, that's mighty expensive ale, but there you go, son.
Well, so
Not
there's
son. He's older than a dwarf, so I'll be a bit
Yes.
respectful.
yeah. So you will.
My apologies. It's a bit stronger than I'm used to.
Be that as it may, you hope you're having a pleasant evening.
Hmm.
We shall,
Nicer place than that other shit show.
when you're ready to find your rooms, you'll find the staircase next to the lavatories, and he points to one corner, away from the stone wall.
Or a bucket.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, we don't have them covered by numbers or nothing, so you can take whichever ones you like.
We'll make two. Be
There's
better
no
than another night on the road.
Cheers, Bryce.
All right, sir. You enjoy yourself now.
Aye.
The evening goes on and passes. There is laughter, some shouting, odd flashes of rage and ranting.
I want to kind of intersperse this with a couple of kind of semi-fake drunken conversations of like, we hear things are picking up. The river might be open again. We just have to get word from his lordship.
Well, yeah,
That-
that's what I could have told you. We need to get word from his lordship. From fucking yeah.
We'll be seeing him tomorrow before we head up the mountain.
You'll be seeing him.
Yeah, don't worry. And I'll kind of lean in and kind of flash a badge of office and things like that. Yeah, we got weight to pull, I think.
You know, all right. After a little while, those of you who are sat at the table,
I want to be sat with the old man playing cards.
the old men are playing cards at the next table over for you, and once it starts to fill up, they'll finish their drinks. Those guys don't stick around for too late.
Okay.
And after a little bit, they're up and they're out as the place starts to fill up. But after a little while, Obadiah is moving around the room, chattering, but anyone that stayed at the table, another man, not as, still dressed like a dockhand might, but his shoes are clean, his shirt is uncreased, his hair is combed back across his head, comes and pulls a chair to the head of your table and sits and says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. Just making sure you're all having a nice time, a nice evening."
It's all right.
What's your name then?
Oh, my name is Tolly Morgan. I am the proprietor of this here establishment.
I'll
Fine one
stick
it
a-
is too.
Stick a stumpy dwarven arm out and say Titus.
Titus. You were new around here, aren't you, Titus? I don't recognise you.
Yes, the family's a bit remote in the mountains. We don't frequent the towns much, but I have been here before. Not
Is that-
at this tavern, but yeah.
Is that so? Well, anyway, fellas, I understand you are hoping to be of some influence to the operation of these here ducks.
Oh. Yeah.
Ah,
Is that right?
Well, it depends. Why were they shut down?
Oh, it was declared a security concern. The Crown Office decided that he couldn't have such a precious resource under such further increased risk. Now, I don't pretend to be privy to the goings on around here, but well, I'd be mighty interested in having the docks reopened.
Yeah.
Perhaps even 1 or 2 boats a day. That's all I would require.
Oh,
Indeed, if there were a quota, that would be a way of keeping the boats especially safe, would it not? Or we could guarantee the security then, the protection of any one travelling down river, or up indeed, if we were to control a little more tightly which boats could leave and which boats could not. Would you not agree that that might be beneficial for a number of us?
not very democratic.
Well,
Sorry, Jed, what race is this guy?
this guy is a human.
Okay.
He's speaking with a local accent.
Yeah, right, I get it.
If I'm being a bit inconsistent there.
What's your cargo?
Oh, well, we transport all sorts of things. Folks come to us, and my associates, the other local families, and well, we bring all sorts of things in and out of Benreach and, Mazenhal. The dwarf families are well aware of the resource that the river and the docks mean to their livelihoods, their economies, their connections to the outside world.
Okay.
Now that he's finished reeling off that shit, I'll say that doesn't sound very, very community orientated to me.
Community. Oh well, my friend, no, you have it wrong. I'm a man of the community. I'm very much born of this town, and very much put together in a way that I've as I say, anyone that wants to get things done here, anyone that wants to make the community the best it can be, can come to me, and I will do my best to facilitate their needs.
Okay, speak
Am I
plain.
making myself
No,
clear here, gentlemen? I am the
what's-
man that gets things done, and
What are your needs right now from us?
give me a persuasion check there, Jethro.
All right.
As he's saying that as well, I want to say,
Not
and
good.
what are you paying for it?
That is literally a 2.
Literally a
Sweet.
2. Sam, if you're asking the same question, you can also give me one if you'd like a
No,
persuasion.
I'm adding what are you paying for it on
Yeah.
top.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So now, gentlemen, I would not be one to sit and approach sworn agents of the king and suggest that they attempted to interfere with business. That is absolutely not what I'm doing here.
Yeah, it could be
Let
a
me
good
be
way
clear
to
there.
lose your head.
Exactly. It would be. I'm not a man to interfere with the ongoing operations of a nation at war, etc., etc. I am hoping to guarantee the safety of any of those who may be brave enough to step off this jetty once it reopens with the assent of our local Crown Office, of course.
So you want to send people downriver?
Oh well, I am hoping that our Lord, Mr. Beck is willing to send people downriver. But far be it from me, gentlemen, to interfere. I hope you are all having a lovely time. And I will thank you for your patronage this evening, of course. Let me know if I could do anything more to make your stay more comfortable.
Thank you. We will.
He'll place his hands there on the table and stand and move away and meander through the crowds. People are looking, they are deferent. Nobody raises their hands to clap his shoulder or anything like that. But they raise a glass and say hello.
Do you remind you of anyone?
A wanker. Jesus. No.
The guy that took the fingers and rings off, whatever his name was.
Oh yeah, that wanker. Yeah, he's kind of a wanker too.
This guy thinks he's someone. I don't think he's anyone. Maybe
Well,
I'll say and look at him.
He certainly talks a fucking lot.
While that's going on, can I make a roll basically for? I don't know if it's going to be like performance or deception or whatever, but trying to gauge like the state of play in the village from all the gossip and the stuff and the asking the right pointed questions to some people over the course of the evening.
If you're trying to gather information, insight would be the one.
Insight it is.
Yeah, you're not trying to convince anybody of things.
Yeah, an evening of talking to patrons. That's what you're suggesting, isn't it?
Oh, well, would you look at that? That's a 20.
Great. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, people are frustrated about the situation, about the docks being closed in this room at least. Most of the people that are in there work there. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a phone call.
Tell them it's D&D night. Their anti-nerd behavior will not be acceptable. I was in a work call today with another company with 20 developers in a room. Somebody corrected somebody on what type of Star Destroyer somebody had in the background of their Zoom call, and we all just shouted nerd at him. It was hilarious.
It's really deeply unimportant there. Fucking hell, where was it? Yeah. People are frustrated about that, but
where is the frustration being directed? Is it Beck? Is it the dwarves? Is it?
It's mostly towards Beck. Beck is the guy with his hand around, the throat of the town. In terms of kind of status quo, in terms of keeping things running. The thing is that there's a sense when you probe a little deeper, that he gets a lot of grumbles, but actually the day-to-day running of the town is probably all right. People are not. The businesses are doing well. The town is orchestrated in a way where it is safe. It is, busy. It is prosperous. It's just that every little thing that goes wrong, the quibbling stuff, if there's a delay on the cable car, if there's, if a boat can't be overladen because it'll be sunk it'll bloody sink on the river, that's Beck's fault. This is exactly it. There's plenty to grumble about, but you've got a sense of like, you've seen actual refugees coming in here. You've seen people who've given up their entire lives. No one here has been particularly touched by the war. No one here.
So they're more their coin purses being, hindered than anything else, really.
Yeah, and they've been shut for, they've.
Or how long has the war been going on, actually?
The dock has been shut for just about a week.
Yeah, that's the disaster.
Okay. Yeah. The dock has only been closed by a week. They're not touched by it at all, by the war. So it's... Yeah. To answer your question there, Gav, it's sort of since the previous autumn. There were rumblings of it for a while, and so things have picked up going into spring. The kind of gutting of the South in terms of, not quite literal press ganging, but mass recruiting drives and pulling out of the support of any guards, these heavier taxations where you lived. That's only really picked up since through winter and into spring.
Okay, good to know.
Although, yeah, so it's it's 6 months in by now.
Okay, well, once I spend like an hour chatting to people, I'll join back up with the guys at the table.
Yeah. You'll have noticed as well, walking around, this guy get up and leave, and have the sense again of deference with the way that people will look at and regard these. The drunkest, most swaying of men move out of his way.
Do any kind of heavies move with them?
You rolled pretty well there. So what the fuck is the guy's name again? Kenva, whom you met outside, is picking up glasses and moving through the room, but is matching Tully's place in the room, so
Gotcha.
that he's never more really than a table over. And when he stopped to talk to you, he stopped and wiped a table over and over and over again when he stopped and talked to the fellas.
All right, well, lads, it seems we got the lay of the land. Place seems pretty much untouched by the war. Grumbling over nothing, really, as far as I can tell. Sure, the river's an inconvenience, but
Bostic pipes says, "No, it's not true. It's put loads of demands on the prices of things. My dad says he can't even afford to buy
yeah,
nails because the price of iron's gone up so much."
Bostic, that makes sense, but considering people downriver have lost their homes, their lives, some of their family, all of their family. Some farms are now just left untended, so that affects the empire, the kingdom. It's like, sure, your dad might not have nails, but how bad can
Yeah.
it be compared to losing a son? Like, what if you had been turned?
Yeah. All right.
Oh, we'll go speak to your people tomorrow anyway. But I'd like to see if we can organize a meeting with Beck. And we kind of need to discuss, maybe in private later in one of the rooms upstairs, what exactly we're going to let Beck know about what happened downriver.
Why not go up into one of the rooms and then cast Tiny Hut so we make sure it is definitely in private?
That's what I had planned. Good thinking there.
Yeah. Would anybody else like to do anything else for the evening?
Just pretend to be a dwarf,
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
I think.
You can keep it the disguise self. You can cast that at will, can't you? So you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
So, I imagine if I get a bit drunk and I'm in the toilets trying to have a waz, it might fade a bit.
Yeah. Somebody
Redo
catches
it.
you tiptoeing in the toilets, even though you shouldn't really need to. You're a little bit shorter than the dwarves again. Just out of habit, having to do that. That halfling twang creeps into your voice a little bit once you've had a pint or two, and you have to remember to gruffen it up.
Yeah.
to
What's
stay
on,
in
Shag?
character.
I mean, what's on, Shag?
Yeah, I've nothing else to do. Happy to go
No.
head up to the room
Yeah.
to have a chat first.
Yeah. And after a little while, you find the stairs, make your way up, and there's a corridor that splits off into 6. The rooms, as promised, are not numbered.
Cool. Well, there's 4 of us, so we'll take the kind of 4 doors closest to each other, maybe.
There are 5 of you
Yeah.
with Bostic.
Sorry, Bostic, forgot about him.
Yeah.
We paid for
And
them. Yeah, 5 rooms.
the rooms themselves are fairly sparse, although they are warm. From the room downstairs, there are chimneys running up through them, the bricks radiate heat. Although the walls themselves feel cold when you get near them, it is a old, cold rock in a spot where the sun will not reach. Those of you who have windows on the... As you go up the stairs, it will be the left. Those of you who have rooms on the left will have windows. Those of you who go to the right will not have windows. There are unlit candles in there. But
Well, I'll take a room with no windows, light the candle, go in.
Yeah.
I'll ask everyone to join us while I cast the magics, because you need to be inside this ritual circle for it to take effect.
All
I'll
right.
then spend exactly 11 minutes casting Tiny Hut.
Yep.
And as a ritual, and then after that we can talk.
yeah, the tiny hut comes up. The bed quivers slightly as it is
Ooh.
bisected by invisible force, but it's not damaged. You know from experience that it will come back fine, but for a moment it is split in half. And the sheet clips weirdly.
Mm.
The sheet clips weirdly, sorry. And goes into a strange shape, like the text wrapping's gone wrong on it. But you're confident the noises from outside dull slightly. You're confident that you could hear somebody in the hallway if you needed to, but you're certain that you yourselves have privacy for the time being.
Cool.
All right. So here's my plan. We can unsettle the young Lord Beck by telling him about his father's death. Now, it might scare him, or it might give him a sense of bravado that he's now the head of the house.
Might enrage him.
But it might. But it also sounds like either way, it's going to get him a little bit off kilter. And he sounds like just the type of arsehole that his father was. So I wouldn't be beyond taking other measures. But we'll have to judge the man on his virtues when we meet him.
Lack thereof.
True. We also don't quite know how his position ties into the relationship between the kingdom and the dwarven hold. So it might be better to lean on the side of caution and leave him be.
Maybe we
After all, a greedy man is easy to deal with. All we have to do is promise him money. And if all they're asking for is, to allow boats downriver, then, well...
Maybe we should go to Mazenhal first.
Well, I'd like to go to Mazenhal with the knowledge of the state of this place. But just let's not maybe commit to anything in this place.
Maybe leave out how his dad died. Because I don't think
Yeah,
it'd
well,
be best to just-
He died.
Tor,
He
obviously.
died as a result of the disaster.
Yes.
That is the
But
story.
that's exactly what I wrote in the letter, and that's what will stay between us until we meet our makers.
Yeah, what really happened, no one needs to know. He died as a result of the disaster, which he did.
No need to mention, and especially, and just a reminder, no need to mention the orcs that we uncovered in that slaver's pen.
Of course I wouldn't. I wouldn't betray them.
And maybe don't mention the slaver's pen either.
Yeah, exactly. So as long as we're on the same...
The town turned to zombies, he died.
Yeah, needn't go into more detail. We found his body in the cattle market.
We did.
And,
near the entrance.
Near the body of a giant mammoth.
Yeah, okay, yeah, which he slayed.
Well, that would be
no, let's just... as little detail as possible. As little detail as possible is easier to lie about, gentlemen.
I mean, I'm saying we don't lie.
He says with his deception +5.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't
Gav,
know.
can I ask you to make a wisdom save for me?
Uh-oh.
Well, hello. It just turns out my wisdom save is +6.
Oof.
10.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I just noticed as I was rolling that and zooming in on the dice that there is 2 tokens of inspiration on the table. Are they real?
Yeah.
Didn't one get used? I thought.
My,
Yes,
I,
it does.
Did one get used
I've
in a
still got
live
mine.
action game?
Hmm.
Oh,
Live action. You know what I mean?
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I think
Around
one might have. I think we used one in our game.
Yeah, because I looked it up on YouTube to see if we had one get.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So we have one. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, a 10 result there, Jed.
Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Thank you.
All right. Well, plan tomorrow then is
I think we seek out him. We tell him of his father's demise. We say we're king's men. We say the river is still dangerous, but not as dangerous as it was. And then we say we're visiting the dwarves. That'll give him time to stew. We'll get more information, hopefully from the dwarves. We'll come back down and we will hopefully be more educated in the man's demeanor to maybe, and I use this term with caution, but render judgment upon him.
all right.
Is there anything else anyone might suggest?
Have your
It's
wits about
good
you.
to me.
Sorry, Jed, I'd like Bostic to be here as well. And I'll explain
Yeah,
the ritual to him if he's
absolutely, yeah.
unfamiliar with magic.
Oh, he stayed in it yesterday with you, didn't he?
In the
I can't
tiny
remember
hut,
if
yeah.
I cast it on the road, but yeah, cool.
Yeah, you did. Distinctly, I remember that you did.
Okay. In that case, yeah. But for tonight I'll memorize some more magics to allow us to block additional effects from our space. So we should have better protection from now on if we stay in the same area.
All right.
Let me check that. Sorry, I'm just going to check a particular thing. What are you doing that's extra? Sorry.
So one of my 4th level spells that I got was Mordecai's Private Sanctum.
Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah.
So it is a 4th level spell, not a ritual, but it does a whole bunch of other cool shit. It like bans fucking teleportation, scrying, tons of other stuff, and like that's something. If I have the spell slot available, I'll be able to add to our protection.
Sure. Okay.
But the days.
I've got that now. You're not doing that today.
No, I have it. I changed my spell slots on my character sheet already. Prepared
Yeah.
spells. I mean, but
Yeah.
I haven't taken them into effect.
Yeah. No problem. Cool. And I'm just checking one other thing.
So like sound can't pass through the barrier. Vision can't, even dark vision. No divination through it. Creatures can't
Yeah.
be targeted through it. Nothing can teleport in or out, and planar travel is also blocked.
Gotcha.
And from now on, I'm going to keep a banishment spell permanently learned.
Yeah. Yeah. Banishment's great. Stan was telling me they've really weirdly nerfed it in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, it's shit in Baldur's Gate.
No, I haven't looked at it yet.
It doesn't. It lasts 2 turns for a start, and it doesn't actually do the full banishment if you can concentrate on it long enough. It's wank.
Yeah, a lot of them seem to be 2 turns.
Mm.
I got to take a leak. Back in a sec, but keep going.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to do the same. I'll be right back.
All right.
Piss break. Piss break.
Damn it, I already did.
as we're going to probably be doing lots of talking, I will change my spells for more talking spells.
Right back.
Hey.
Okay.
Any money on the football, Gavlovic?
Nope. Don't even know who's playing. Oh, it's England and somebody.
Spain. It's a repeat of the other year. We watched an England-Spain game with Arm.
Oh yeah. Oh cool. Is it on now?
No, it's Sunday.
I would picture England to win again.
I think so as well.
Didn't see anything special in Spain, and last time England played, 2 years ago, they were fucking great. So if they've beaten
Right.
all the others out of it, then yeah, it'll happen.
I don't do football, but they were watching it
Yeah,
yesterday.
Why is there a football
And,
conversation going on?
It's the World Cup.
Because Jed's not jamming.
Yeah. So
What?
I've watched literally like 10 minutes of the game yesterday, and they fucking all over them.
Yeah, I watched like one Ireland match, but yeah, not up to
I bet the
much.
tenner on them when it started, just as a joke. To win the whole thing.
Real
Well,
trick
I
is
would.
to oh yeah,
England.
you bet a tenner for them to win the whole thing. What were the odds then? Probably only 5 or 6 to 1, though. I'd imagine.
I think it was 6-1, yeah, 7-1.
Yeah. Still better than that kick in the tits. And watching fit women run around the pitch ain't too bad.
They were flat chested and blonde, it seems like.
Yeah, tits are for feeding children. I'm all about the arse.
That's for feeding
Those-
men.
And those things are fucking machines. There's a
It's
great
the forbidden
word.
fruit.
You know the way Stygian means darkness and Herculean means strong, and Cyclopean means giant.
Yes.
Well, Callipygian means of great buttocks. That is a true fact. And
Brilliant.
it's the greatest word in the English language. Stolen from Greek, obviously, like you
Oh,
steal
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That is a great word.
Right, we sleep.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Real
Oh,
shit.
and I'll explain to the guys as they're leaving that you can come back into my room and be protected from outside at any point during the night. Which isn't an invitation to come back into my room in the middle of the night.
I always use protection when I go into Obadiah's room.
Yeah.
15
the
on the
night.
Tinker Jet.
But if anything kicks off, then, you know.
Great. That's a pass.
What? I don't really care. I'll just sleep on the floor.
Yeah, that was a. Maybe I should roll that disadvantage because that was a drunken tinkering.
Tell you what, you can make me a con check.
God. Can't save, yeah?
Con
Oh, there you
save.
go.
Yeah.
He's fucking hammered.
With the one on there, Sam, I will discount that Tinker's check.
You break something you'd already built.
No, it's back.
I won't take you back a step, but you decide not to take out the tools tonight.
I take out the tools every night.
4.
You little packer.
Still a tool. It's just a small one.
Tweezer still has a purpose. Do we actually get a full night's rest?
Yes. Take yourselves through the long rest, gentlemen.
Cool.
Those of you with windows will awaken to the cracking of dawn on the river and against the inn's front. And those of you without windows will awaken to the sound of Jethro shouting, "Shut the fucking curtain!"
Yeah.
As
To
the
know.
sunlight comes and strikes against his eyelids.
Yep.
You are early in the day. Things are not busy yet. But the town is waking.
Now we'll miss some coffee.
Yeah,
And
head down and get
breakfast.
breakfast. And I want to ask Tully where we'll find Lord Beck. Where's this Crown office? Does he have a building?
He probably doesn't know he's the Lord.
Yeah.
Mr. Morgan, whom you met the night before, Tully, is sat by himself at a table downstairs. Bryce, the barman, is cutting fruit on the bar.
Bartender's work is never done, is it?
Long hours, no social life, but you know, it's got its perks.
Ah, same as a wizard.
I
Nerd.
imagine that has a few perks and all.
So, Mr. Morgan, where can we find ourselves this Beck, this Mr. Beck? Does he have an office or something on those lines?
The Crown office is stationed next to the base of the gondola. You'll find him just up the hill a little way, on the crest in the town. You'll not miss it. Similar sigil to what those badges that you gentlemen were displaying rather flagrantly across the crowd last night above the door.
Well, that was the point, wasn't it? This place seems a bit downtrodden, in spirit anyway.
We keep a touch to the dank around you, just to, well, keeps the place honest, does it not?
Haha, honest. Well, let's eat breakfast and get away. We have a busy day ahead of us.
I'm still hungover
Yeah.
in bed.
There is fruit and bread and cheese and ham are served for breakfast. There
Yeah.
is coffee to be drunk.
Yep.
Is coffee some sort of weird foreign import?
It
comes from like
it's
Thorax lands or something.
It's widespread, but it comes in on the seas. Yeah, absolutely, and would have to be brought upriver here, definitely.
I think I'm going to be the snob I am in real life and not drink coffee and just have, I don't know, tea or wine or something.
As a monk, I should drink tea, but as a drunk, I drink coffee. And eat meat.
I'll come bursting in at the smell of food and demand water.
Are you sure you want the water?
Should maybe water it down with some wine.
It's just so dry. Water, please.
They'll pour you up a mug of water, and you can taste the residue of ale in the cup.
Mm.
but the water's probably been boiled. It's safe to drink at least.
Oh, thank God.
Look, sorry, you got one of them berries. You know, the ones that make you feel nice.
Is there a hangover cure now?
Yeah, let's have to try it.
That's canon.
No, they've all actually they lost 20. No, they'd all be gone by now. They all be rotted.
Just give him a
pretty
berry.
much.
Just a
We
random
just
blueberry or
gotta
whatever.
reach
Yeah,
in
there
me
you go.
pouch
Have
Yeah,
and
that.
give 'em-
you've got berries as components. So just
Yeah.
give him give him
Here you
deadly
go.
nightshade berry.
There's that should help.
Just give him a
I'll pick
potato.
out, give him a gooseberry.
There are blaeberries and lingonberries and,
Give him a
and yeah,
paracetamol painted purple.
cranberries on the fruit, in among the fruit there.
I'll eat it. It tastes different. So, it's the best. I don't know.
It does
Right.
taste different to the last time you had one of Tor's good berries, but it's, it's
Okay.
tart and it does feel nice in your mouth. It's juicy.
Ooh.
And then the saliva kicks up, and you wonder whether you're going to be able to keep anything other than water down for a little while.
Good old dwarven constitution, eh?
Are these still disguised?
No.
So
Oh, you're not.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's
See
even
the
better.
picture,
Yeah,
no.
it's like what
I'm
the
not.
fuck? Who are you?
I've slept.
Just
No,
forgot,
halflings come out
forgot
that room.
to.
Yeah.
Well, I also prepared if we really do need it. Fucking polymorph. If they're gonna stop being racist to poor Jeffro here. So
You do not have my permission to change me from anything but an orc.
we change you into a giant. It might be funny.
Rather not.
Right, well, let's get breakfast and go visit this young Beck.
All right.
Mr. Morgan, what's Lord Beck's given name? Or, first name, or whatever the term is in this world.
I believe at home he is known as David.
All right.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for your hospitality over last night and this morning. Breakfast was very nice. We are about to go and stare down the beast. I'm still probably a bit drunk.
I wish you will, gentlemen.
Just pal.
To keep me in your thoughts, would you, eh?
Okay, weirdo.
We do, as I walk past, give him a nod and put on my dwarven voice. See you later. As a not a dwarf.
Yep. The town, as I've said, is waking. People are leaving their homes and walking, many of them in the opposite direction of you, towards the river again. The creak of the gondola comes down and away from the hill. Patter, patter, pattering, and ripping, twisting noise of the ropes as they strain. Down towards the riverside part from the higher part of the mountain. There are a few cries. There is the smell of fresh bread around the place. The sound of barrows being shunted out of houses. People are on their way to work. It doesn't take you long to find the Crown Office, as promised. And across the way, a similar looking building. Both are tall, stone, slate roofed, One bears the royal sigil and the dark green and gold of the Beck House. Another across the way bears that dwarven-style coat of arms. The runes mark it out as the clan of the Peak. These two buildings face each other, similar in style, and in between them, at the edge of the road, the terminus of the gondola, from which, as you arrive in the relevant part of town, two well-dressed dwarves disembark and make their way towards what you might assume is the mountain office.
I'll just greet them in passing in my best dwarvish.
The two
Head
look your way with a degree of curiosity, but they don't say anything back.
Head up to the Crown office, knock on the door.
He takes a second, and after a little bit, a human woman, dressed in a similar black and white motif, opens the door. Similar to the other crown assistants that you got to meet in your time in High Lurie. Genevieve, for example, wore a similar uniform.
Is this like an order or like a clerk's guild or something, or is it just what they wear?
That's a good way of putting it. There is a level of dedication to the crown that many women take in adolescence, where they seclude themselves in a way that you might see in religious orders, monastic traditions. They take up service and spend many years in it. It carries a similar level of recognition as military office.
And is there a title associated with it, or I don't know what the word is, not pronoun, but like, do we call her sister, or do we call her?
Honorific.
Yeah, honorific. That's the word. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and it's totally gone out of my fucking head. Give me a second.
Daughter?
I've got it written down. Because you were just calling Genevieve by her first name.
Yeah. Because I think that's what she introduced herself as.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, so we call
Yeah.
her that name, and we say,
Yeah.
or if I'm educated enough to say that, it's
Mhm.
like, we're here to speak with Lord
Yeah.
Beck.
They are, as you say, they are called. They're called crown servants. But that's So yeah, no, I don't have an official honorific. Sorry, I found my notes on that. So we don't have an official honorific for them because
Well, we can use
I'm not-
Crown Servant as the
Yeah.
honorific.
absolutely. Yeah, that's their job title.
Sure.
But you can call them Miss generally, and that usually works.
Ma'am.
Good morning, gentlemen.
I will take the badge off that kind of Velcro patch or whatever I have and like
Yeah.
present it to her, to give it to her and say, we are here on Crown business. We would like to speak to Lord Beck.
Oh, Lord Beck or Mr. Beck?
Mr.
Lord
Beck.
David Beck.
He's not a lord.
She blinks for a second. I'm going to give her an insight check
He
to
is
work out
now.
what you're getting.
Long live the king.
She is going to bluster for a second. So Mr. David Beck is just upstairs preparing for his day. You're welcome to wait. If it is with Lord Beck that you were seeking the appointment, I'm afraid we'll have to.
We'll wait for Mr. David Beck. We come bearing grave news.
Well, come in, sirs. My name is Lauren. And she will point you through to a kind of sitting room. May I offer you something to drink?
I think some water would be good. But apart from that, we're fine. Thank you.
She leaves, comes back a moment later with a pitcher of water and 5 glasses. Bostic is there with you. He's spent a little bit of time in the morning polishing his armor, and is beaming with excitement. And a few moments later, Lauren comes back in and says, Mr. Beck will be with you shortly. He will see you in the working office just across the way. May I... Is there anything...
Yes, miss. It's about his late father.
Oh. Oh dear. Very
And
well.
tidings from the crown.
And tidings. Very well. Give me one moment, please. And she leaves. She comes back. Mr. Beck will see you now. And points you through to an office across the hallway from the sitting room where you've been placed.
Is the sitting room was it as richly appointed as the Beck house in the town of Ansel?
Not as much, but there are certain bits, especially in terms of the colorway. There are pieces of furniture. The desk looks like it might have been made by the exact same furniture maker. The wood, the trims, the finish, the fittings are identical to your eye. The architecture of the room is more sparse. There is less. What's the word I want to use? There's no frieze. There's less kind of ornamenture to the actual shaping of the room. It's squarer. The floorboards again creak as you go in.
All right. Well, walk into the office like we belong there.
Absolutely. There's a couch at the back of the room, 2 chairs at the desk, and then there at the desk.
I'll take one of the chairs at the desk, facing the owner of the desk type thing.
The man himself is in his 40s, maybe 40. He wears a kind of simple black shirt, long sleeves. The sleeves come down over the backs of his hands. He's looking up at you. There are papers to the side of the desk, but they're turned over. You couldn't see what was written on them. He wears...
Lord Beck,
Yeah.
allow me to introduce myself. I am Obadiah Phineas Black, a representative of the Crown. And I will again show the badge.
And he'll stand and nod graciously. Mr. Black, thank you for coming to see me. With all of your associates.
My friends here, my comrades, are also members of the Crown. And we happened upon Bostic, our dwarven friend here, in Ansel. your father's domain.
Yes, indeed. My childhood home. How do you do, Bostic? I don't believe we've met. Any of you. But, gracious, you all are welcome, and he'll extend his hand to shake.
Yeah, I'll shake his hand.
Gav, you will
Death save.
notice he does it. No. No, it's all right. You'll notice as he stands, he has the sleeves are, as I've said, loose. They come down over his hands. He wears a rapier on his left hip. But it is, scabbarded. There's certainly a resemblance between the old man that you met a few days before, albeit briefly. But there's a difference as well. This guy has a brightness and a health to him that is much less artificial feeling. His eyes are sharp. You can feel him taking you in, spotting every corner of your face. The way that he looks at you is quite something.
Lord Mr. Beck, we have grave tidings from Ansel. The town had been overrun by the passing of the comet that you have no doubt heard of.
The rumours have reached us this far into the backwaters, yes, I must say.
I'm afraid the townsfolk, the farmers, the people of the hinterlands around Ansel have all been consumed by this darkness. There is but a dozen left, and unfortunately, I'm afraid to say your father was not one of them. I am sorry about this terrible news we have to bring.
That is terrible. My father had... Well, he used to say that he had lived through worse with such frequency that one wondered quite how bad the worst might have been.
Well, exactly. I'm but a young man myself, younger than you, obviously, and I'm well studied in the histories of this kingdom, and I can't recount anything worse.
Truly, to fell a man like that. The cleric in town, Kilfer. I assume he has made it through.
He has. His church has housed refugees and stragglers, and indeed had saved our friend here, Bostic. Bostic Bright Iron, is it?
Bostic nods. Yes, sir. Metallurgy clan. My father, I was there as an apprentice, sir. Beck straightens himself, kind of brushes his jacket, his lapels. Says, well, gentlemen, it appears I'll have my work cut out for me. The locals here in the Reach keep me busy enough, but, well, truly I am fortunate then.
The men at the docks say they've been unable to ship wares downriver.
Yeah, sorry, before we move on to the trader stuff.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone's asked. Doesn't look sad at all by this news.
Well, he just said, truly I am fortunate.
Yes. But I mean about his dad being dead.
He's got a look of... how do I want to put it?
Put it this way, I'm just trying to judge if he didn't like his dad or not.
Yeah,
That
sure.
was his response.
He doesn't look surprised. He doesn't look shocked or kind of taken by it.
He's not asked us about it.
He hasn't asked any questions at all so far, has he?
Don't think so.
No, and yeah, he's not looking upset, but he's not looking happy either. You know, this doesn't look like a look of relief.
Is it a sure?
Yeah, Dad may have died, but he's also just become a
20
lord.
on
So.
insight.
Total 20?
Not 20.
No,
Natural
20
20.
something.
Natural 20 something, yeah. Okay, right, what do I want to tell you about it? It doesn't look surprised at all. He doesn't, you know, I would say it's making him unhappy. He sounds sincere in his kind of mournfulness, his grief, in the sense that
He's just putting a brave face on something.
yeah, like he's trying to, you know, yeah. He's got a degree of stiff upper lip and a degree of, you know, right, well, we have to take this with dignity because we are lords and aristocrats and can't be seen to be crying in front of the men. There is a level of that, and there's a level of if you didn't know better, it was like he already knew.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not getting involved in the conversation. I'm just peering from them.
Yeah. He's not reacting terribly to any of the information that Obadiah's given him so far, like any of it's surprising or new, you know?
Is he wearing any interesting necklaces and rings?
You can make me an investigation check. I'll use your passive as a floor, so your passive was 10.
15. Yeah. That's it. 15.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. In terms of jewelry, he
Anything
has
that looks similar to some backwards.
anything that looks similar to.
What backwards?
Yeah, you're breaking up, Sam. Shout
Follow
louder.
Mike.
I can't because I was a veteran.
He is not wearing a amulet of, you know, health, if that's what you're asking me.
Basically, yeah.
He has yeah, what color is it? He has a
Probably got
ring
a
with
family ring.
he has a ring with a gemstone on his right hand. I can tell you the bloody color of it if it's, you know,
Yellow and
it's
green.
it's a kind of murky white and blue kind of color to the stone.
How do you wear one?
There are 3 dark beads pinned to the lapel of his shirt. And also, because you've been playing with it, his right arm, no, his left arm, sorry, moves with a degree of weight that you wouldn't be surprised if he had something similar to your pistol contraption hidden up one of his sleeves.
Interesting.
Um,
I hope you know what I was getting out there. Like a ring of warding or something.
like a ring of.
Warding or something like that. You know, a ring of connection to somebody else.
Yeah, I follow you there.
Yeah, like a spell or something. That's what I was alluding to. So that
Yeah.
doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. So in terms of anything that might be, yeah, he's got that one ring.
Is it? I'll just add. Is it similar to Dad's ring?
So you guys have found a ring similar to this in terms of the way that the gemstone is set, and the quality of the gemstone. Do you recall the ring that you took from Percy's from the bag of nails?
The thief captain man
The
had a ring.
the head of
Yeah.
the thieves guild there had a particular ring.
Yeah.
He had a couple of rings, but one of them we spent a little while describing.
Yeah.
300 GP diamond on a plain gold ring?
There was one of those, and then there was another ring that had a particular stone set into it that you surmised from it was days ago in character, so I can tell you that you surmised had a spell frozen in it.
I will. I will
The
idly.
murky nature.
I will idly play with the gold teeth on my necklace while I'm listening to the conversation.
Absolutely. His
Yeah,
eyes
I'm
do.
just going to take note of that, Jed.
His eyes do flick over towards you every so often, Jeffro.
I will meet his gaze.
Yeah. And he's keeping this slightly sad but mostly quite flat expression as he's talking to Obadiah. And then eventually he says, "Well, gentlemen, you didn't come all this way, all of you together, to tell me that, did you?"
No, it was the right thing to do. We have come west up the river from Hyluri in order to investigate this meteor that landed in the fields north of Ansel. We have cleared what we could of the undead menace that has plagued the lands, and we are now going to seek the wisdom of the dwarf lords in the mountain above.
Tell him about kill the spell.
Pardon? What do you mean, kill for spell?
Well, he rid the town of the rest of the undead
Ah, yes.
with our aid.
The cleric Kilfer has some magics available to him that seem to help rid the town of Ansel of the undead that are now currently were currently residing there. And we obviously have requested support from the crown.
And there, when you're talking about the spell, Beck's expression changes, and he looks at him. So the town is safe to return to now?
The town is relatively safe, and relative for this river is a word of caution. We would hope, for the kingdom's sake, the trade could begin again, but I couldn't honestly say that the river is safe. I could say that all boats, if they were sent down, should be accompanied by guards.
But you would not discourage, you
Trade.
would not
Yes.
encourage.
No,
Yeah.
we wouldn't. I would just say it would be backed up with a level of precaution. The folk in the town, the humble folk that we stayed in one of the inns in the town last night, had concerns that they voiced that the Crown Office was exerting some control that they weren't quite happy with. Now, obviously, we understand this, but they didn't. But we think, provided a few boats can be let out, that the economy can still flourish. And provided some security is met, the town may begin to return to normality.
Well, Mr. Black, I am grateful for your advice, and I will take it under consideration. I'm aware of Mr. Morgan's operations down on the docks and his eagerness to return to his version of normal.
I'm just going to
Lord
bluntly
Beck.
interrupt. Sorry.
Go on, yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm interrupting you as well. I'm going to bluntly interrupt and say, what's his deal? From the back, sat on the sofa.
Oh, Mr. Morgan is a local business owner, a pillar of the community, etc., etc. He finds a way to scrape what coins he can from those who actually do some work around here. Of course, that's hypocritical coming from a man of such birth as my own, but, well, I actually do my best for people, unlike certain others.
My insight roll, does it sound like he's telling the truth in his
Yeah,
family?
you can give me an insight roll.
Or
I'd
can I
like
just
to
let
kind
my
of get in
insight
on that as
carry
well.
on?
Let your insight from before, Karen. Again,
Yeah.
he's being euphemistic. You know, he's aware of Mr. Morgan, and basically, Tully Morgan is definitely running the fucking, the smuggling ring and the protection rackets and the crime side of the docks, and it's tolerated in the sense that, such things are, because it's better than, because somebody's got to do it, and he might be the best of a bad lot.
I'll just say plainly, do you have a hand in any of that? And judge's reaction.
I'm much too busy to touch the docks. The ships come in. We have town staff to inspect things. Things come and are unloaded. But so long as everybody's safe and happy, so long as those who are actually working can buy bread at the end of the day, I've been too busy running the
Lord
town.
Beck, the kingdom needs weapons and metal, and it needs it sent to Hyluri.
Precisely.
So I failed an insight roll there in order to jump in on the bandwagon with Titus, but
Yeah,
that's kind of what I was getting at anyway. Is like we need to get more than just the appointed vessels downstream. We need to restore the economy.
You are exactly right, and well said there, Mr. Black. I will do my best to make sure
Sorry,
that
Jed, before we forget,
Yep.
there was a question of if he was lying in his response in the second bit.
the
And if he had a hand in it.
Short answer is
Alright.
yeah. You don't think so?
Yeah.
To be honest, it's the way that he's speaking about Morgan. It's a bit small fry.
Yes. So he just turns a blind eye.
He turns a blind eye because it's it's coppers on the gold getting scraped.
Yes, we've got a Russian army into the States.
Well, sure. That's it. A
Yes.
little bit of grease on the wheels is fine.
At some point, I'll relay this to Gav, but my thoughts on that matter are, exactly what I just said. A little bit adds up to a lot, and there's a war on, boys.
Yeah. But as to Obadiah mentioning, well, yes, there's exactly that. There's a war on, and people need to be
Not people, the kingdom.
yeah. Relief must come down, and the spice must flow.
Exactly. And Lord Beck, we are to visit the dwarves this day. Is there anything that you feel that the kingdom could persuade them of?
Oh,
Could help us with?
goodness me! I'll write you a shopping list.
Well, I've noticed that the people of this area have been all but not affected by the war.
No, and if anything comes across, perhaps you would impress upon them what a good job we are doing. Those of us with ties in High Lurch, are doing of protecting the West.
It might be a hard sell, the fact that we don't have any armies anywhere west of Hansel.
No, and precisely that is because they are not needed. You have a southern accent, do you not, Mr. Black?
I do.
I understand that the good folks of the Marnes and the Vadden have given up a whole generation of young men. Yourself clearly among them, to Crown service.
And proudly so.
Exactly. And it is the pride of the South that protects the North of the nation.
Well, Lord Beck, if you don't mind me saying, it was the pride of the North that protected the nation until the pride of the North got cut down.
Mm.
There's a level of urgency here that I feel in my, and I'm not speaking for anyone of higher station than me, but we need to get the dwarves involved.
Hmm.
Well, what I will do is I will write something down for you that will guarantee you an audience with Simon Highcliffe, and I will encourage you to make this case to him, to petition him for and get across exactly what is being sacrificed by those of us on, as he puts it, the sunlit lands of Lurich.
Well, that would be most welcome. Highcleve, did you say?
Highcliffe, Simon Highcliffe.
I'll turn to Bostic. Do you know of this man? The
No,
Lord
yeah.
of Mazenhal?
Big beard, Peak family. Yeah, Lord, maybe. It was.
Jarl or Thrall or something. All those things.
He certainly said something.
It was Gelder Highcliffe we saw getting off the gondola.
Ah, okay. Well, I think we'll head to the gondola next, Lord Beck, and we will do what we can. Tell me, do you plan on returning to Ansel? It's a desolate place. If you don't mind me advising, you might be safer here.
Well,
After all, the economy of this place feeds the economy of Hyluri and the kingdom itself. You may be a welcome ally to the King Rosalie.
well, if the population in Ansel is as decimated as you suggest, I dare say they'll have little need for a civic leader for some time.
True.
There will be funereal arrangements to be made, etc. But I think I will take your advice here.
And we will be heading down river in a day or two. Is there anything from Ansel or your father's domain that we can secure for you?
Well, was the house touched at all that you saw?
We did
Badly
see
destroyed.
the house in town had been all but yes, it was rendered all but destroyed. We did see a house on the way upriver, which we assumed was your family home by the colours. That was empty, I'm sorry to say, but was seemed to be untouched.
That's good. No, I will have a think. Stop by with me before you leave again, gentlemen. And he'll stand here at the table.
As you will. Offering some sort of deference kind of thing
Yeah.
before saying, yeah, we're out.
As everyone else begins to leave, I want to say, and just one last thing. Have a word with the person who's in charge of your business licenses around this area and get him to go and have a chat with the leader of the owner of that inn. What was it called again? The Bed and something?
Rest.
The
The
Bed and Rest. Yeah.
Oh,
So
have
the
you?
proprietor of that place is what us from High Laurie area would call a bit of a racist.
Hmm.
Understood,
Oh.
sir.
Not very welcoming.
You'll forgive. Well, company you keep, unfortunately, may ruffle a few beard hairs here and there. I mean no offense to you, sir.
I take none.
Your folks are, well, and he'll grumble a second and clear his throat, and then switch to Orcish as he says, "We've had our dealings," and then back to, he'll say it that way. It's got that euphemistic tone that in the Orcish translation is clear that you've fought. But it's that kind of, there's lots of different ways of talking about fighting in Orcish, and this is in a friendly sense that he's trying to get it across.
Fighting for fun.
Yeah.
Anyway,
As he stands, Gav, your passive investigation is good enough.
Yeah, 18.
As he stands, he spreads his hands upon the table, and you notice that his left hand has 6 fingers. And he
Right.
shows you to the edge of the room.
Gav has no idea what that means, but I
No, I know.
think it has something to do with Jethro.
Yep.
Okay.
oh,
Yeah, I think my character. Does my character know? I can't remember. Jethro.
Jethro has mentioned it, I
Dex, does
think,
it?
literally once.
I think I explained it. That,
Equally. Right.
Fatum
You don't have
thing.
keen mind or
Fuck.
anything, do you, Gav?
No.
I will get you to make
But
a
I
history.
am into 20
Yeah, if
think
you're in,
I
I'll
have
get you
told
to
him.
get you to make.
and history +8. Yeah.
I'll give you a history check. If you roll over a 15, I'll tell you. Total 15.
Oh, 12.
12 total. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, this was a passing reference, but
Cool.
yeah, it wasn't fully explained to you at the time, but that was an
I might-
opportunity
I
for
might mention
Obadiah
it
to put 2 and 2
later.
together. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, but
Once-
he will show you to the door and make sure Lauren offers you, make sure Lauren gives you directions to wherever you might like to go next, although it's all of 10 meters from his door to the gondola.
Yeah, that's all we're planning to do.
before we get on the gondola, and once we're outside, I relay all of my findings from watching that room.
Yeah.
The ring that's similar to the one we found before.
Oh, the ring.
Bad magic.
That guy had 6 fingers.
Did he?
I thought that was kind of odd. Yes, on his left hand? No, his right hand.
His left hand.
It was his left hand, but
Oh, his left hand. Sorry. Yes.
That stage left.
the
No.
bear is left. Gav's right.
Did I ever tell you the story?
No.
The man who killed my father.
Oh, seems like we might need a drink.
Yeah.
Let's keep it for another time. Let's get the gondola now.
Yes. Mm.
Clink, clink.
I will.
Anyway, I think he was speaking the truth. As far as I can tell.
Yeah, I still think he's a bastard, though. I have to say.
Do
Something
you
in
really
my-
think he wouldn't have known about his father's little side operation, being as old as he is?
No,
As well?
that's
I
why I
didn't
asked him about
expect
the racism.
His
bit,
town.
and he didn't seem to.
I didn't expect him to be as old as he was. I thought we'd meet a man in his 30s, not a more seasoned man. Yeah.
You forget his father had the amulet that extended his own life, so it makes sense that his son would be an older man.
My word, I did.
True. What of that ring? It looked the same as the one that you said had magical properties.
The one
Like,
that Percy had.
What ring?
yeah.
He had a ring like Percy's.
Mm.
The thief?
Oh yeah, this one. Showing my teeth.
That's a spellbinding ring. They're common enough, I suppose.
You can make me an Arcana check, Gav.
I'll say he caught my eye when I was playing with these gold teeth. I don't know
15.
if that means he knows Percy, but
15 thing. They're not something that literally every wizard can do. there are particular
Ah,
branches.
but there
within that.
maybe a rich man can do.
Yeah, anyone that can employ, choose which wizard he wants can find a specialist. The trick involved of it is catching the exact moment between the spell being cast and it going off, and freezing the moment in time. Within that,
Wait a
15 is good
minute,
enough to know that.
I might be imagining this, or if I've rehearsed this in my head, but didn't I tell the story of my dad being killed when we were at Sam's?
I'm pretty sure you did tell the story because I can remember.
You told some of it to Matt.
Thief, no more.
Yeah.
I may have just written this in my head and not said it, but
No, I think you just said it to Matt, not as a character. You were telling him about your.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
I have the backstory prepared.
It might be one of those things that Jethro, once he's had a drink or two, just tells people as he's getting to know them.
No,
See,
it wouldn't
if you'd
be.
like X, you can rule that. Yeah, okay, fine.
No, I came in the last few weeks. I was coming up with like more detail on the story just to flesh it out. So I have a speech to deliver on it, but
Okay,
not
you've got
right now.
the way that Jethro tells the story. Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem.
While we're waiting for the gondola and sorting out tickets and shit, I want to talk to Bostic about buying one of those diamonds that is worth 1,000 gold.
Well, yeah. I mean, I suppose I was just going to sell them.
Well, I'll give you 1,000 gold for one. They may be handy for us in the future, whether our paths continue, up or down this river.
1,000 gold pieces. Have you got that?
Well,
What
of course
the
we
fuck?
do. We're the king's people.
Is everyone in High Lorich as well off in High Lorry?
Oh no,
We're just
No,
a little
definitely not.
fortunate.
we have been fortunate and been working for the king and his people.
Hard working man.
For
Hard
months
work
on
brings you
end.
this, Bostic.
Hard work and dangerous work.
Yeah.
We've been lucky to survive this long.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I'll be.
ye- Go on.
While you're saying this, I'll be stood behind Jethro and thingy, catching Bostic's eyes, flicking some fingers flicking some coins in my fingers, like going, and we steal it with my eyes.
That's the thing. We've come across several encounters of
not
people who have
theft.
been stealing from the kingdom, and we have relieved them of it. So this money is not ours, per se, but what we do with it will, benefit the kingdom. Those crystals, those gems, in the right hands can bring a person back from almost death. And while we venture into these dangerous times, we could do with a little backup or, that safety net.
I understand. Okay, well, you can have one now, and then when we get into the mountain, we'll find the my clan's credit hall, and we can pay it in there. I haven't got enough pockets to. I shouldn't be having these on me just walking around.
Oh, of course, I understand. Yeah, we'll do it later today. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He hasn't reached to try and just get a diamond out in the street. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. And I wouldn't. Yeah, I assume we're kind of sitting around the gondola base, whatever that kind of area looks like, and I am chatting subtly because it is a fucking obscene amount of cash, like 20 years of wealth for the farmer or something.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a gnomish fella with some kind of steam compressing contraption that is serving and selling hot drinks in cups
I'm
of twisted
staying
up
the
bark.
fuck away from that. It's witchcraft.
It is loud and pelting out. Says the wizard, but yeah, sure, yeah. Pelting out steam and hammering
mechanics is
pressure noises.
bullshit. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And every so often he pushes a bellows just to stoke it a little more.
I'm going to go get a cup.
Cool. You're gonna go and get a cup. Well,
Oh God.
yeah. And what can he do? What can he do for you? What would you like?
What are you selling?
Well,
flat white.
Is this coffee?
with teas and coffees and other brews. With yeah,
Where do you hail from? No.
well, my family all over the place. I just been in a few different places. I've been working here out of Bednreach for 6 seasons, and then before that was in Hylarich itself for 17 seasons, yeah, just about. And then kind of a little bit further south there, I had a little stall that would go in and out of shy meat. We'd work the season there, but it was just a season or two here or there, maybe 1 or 2 seasons out of 4.
Yeah, the gnomes speak Lithuanian.
Yes, they do.
Oh, it's just your contraption looks like something from my home country.
Oh, really? And you're known for your with clockwork contraptions, or with the
And I'll just let my pistol spring out into my hand. And pull my sleeve up.
remarkable. Let me give him a. And it's okay with the primer and the. He leans in to sniff at it,
Mm-hmm.
and you watch his eyes open. This gnome. I had that is remarkable. Do you know Do you know, sir? I had wondered about any possible applications and how these things would be developed. You considered it's merely theoretical, but with the right pressure, do you find overpressurization and damage to the cylinders a major issue? I mean, I imagine it would require rather a lot of maintenance.
Yes, you're correct.
This particular part here, for example, would come across as awfully fragile, and with the direction of the sparking and combustion.
Well, you're talking about the flintlock.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Well, maintenance is important every evening, especially after use.
Yes, of course, but you find it quite effective.
They can attest to that. I'll nod over to them. Anyway, how about that drink?
Big boom.
Yes, of course. Are you in town a few days, sir? If you don't mind me asking.
Going up the hill, we should be back on our way out.
Oh, very well.
Tell me, actually, before I go, do you know a Frostric broadaxe?
Broadaxe. Weaponry clan.
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah.
Not personally, sir, but
no worries. Just if you're ever interested in having a play with that powder of mine, I hear he's the man of the source. Met his brother, you see. Anyway, thank you for the drink.
Indeed, sir. Yes. And he's given you a kind of sharp but sweet brew. The color of it is almost like a forest green to look at. It's not acidic, but it's like a kind of. You might think it was lemon drink if it wasn't for the color. Pine needle tea.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll happily drink that. That sounds like something. Drink.
Yeah.
I'll see you on the way down. Thank you for the drinks. Very lovely.
I'm curious. Yeah, indeed. And you, sir. Upon the morrow.
I'll come back with my smelly tea.
Yeah. Titus sidles over. Now, the gondola has a ticket office with a decent-sized waiting room at the bottom. Bostic will explain if asked, but you can work out that effectively it runs once every half an hour. It comes down, it waits for 30 minutes, it goes up. It comes down, it waits for 15 minutes. It goes up, it waits for 15 minutes. It comes down again, it waits for 15 minutes.
I'll just go in and buy tickets for 5 of us that we assume we belong here.
Yeah.
Because that's the arrogant prick Obadiah is.
Absolutely. Tickets are 2 gold of each for a ride. Although, they will discuss, they will ask you if you are representing any particular house.
I
Out
will
of
pay
politeness.
10 gold and say we represent the kingdom.
Oh, very well, sir. Yes, of course.
But I'll put down the money first, so it's non-negotiable as such. I'm keeping receipts.
Oh, right, sir, yeah.
On the company card.
Well then, we'll be departing again in another 7 minutes' time. Keeping track using the water clock over there. And there is a spout that is slowly filling with water. You've seen the like before, and every minute or so it will fill so much that the water spills out into the pool below it. And indeed, as you're there, it fills, it goes doop doop doop, splashes out water, retips, begins filling again. Oh, six of those then. 6 of those left to go. Do you have any luggage, sir?
Just what we're carrying. So no. I assume like horses and shit is left back in the inn.
Yeah, we haven't discussed the horses since you came to
No.
the bed and rest, so you've
Yeah, we can sort out a price for that, but I assume we would have left those free horses that we got back in the inn.
Yeah, absolutely. Just ditch them at the edge of town.
And everything else is in that bag of holding. God forbid that gets stolen.
Ah, you've got it with you, have you not? Tucked under your belt.
I do.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. A couple of others arrive and buy tickets for the gondola. Again, a man and a dwarf. Not the well-dressed. The person identified as Gelder Highcleve, who disembarked on that first journey of the morning, but a couple of others, and they queue up. The journey is nearly ready to take place. And I think we will leave it there for the evening, fellas. As you prepare to go into the high mountain, the upper levels of Mazenhal.
Cool. Thank you. No, yeah, so I thought of a more detailed backstory about the fight, and then I rehearsed it over and over in my head to the point where I feel like I've said it to you guys, and I actually haven't. So I'm just writing it down. So I will
if it's
deliver
something
that
you've
next
rehearsed,
time.
I don't.
Just in my head.
I'm pretty sure we would have remembered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to do that next week,
Yeah.
X?
Yeah. Actually, writing it down so I don't forget.
Oh yeah. On the gondola. Before I forget, I'm going to tell you now, Jed. I want to ask whatever the little dwarf's called. I forgot his name because my brain's terrible. Bostic. About Broadaxe as well.
Okay.
Just in case I forget by next week, I've told you.
Thank you. I will make a note about that right now.
Took me a while to find it in my note cards on the table. His name, because that was like when we were at the login camp, wasn't it? We met brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's way after. We met Bostic and Ansel.
No, but
not
the Sam was able to buy some powder for his guns, at the logging camp in Penbaden.
Oh yes. Okay.
Was
Sorry.
it session
Has
2
been-
or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty early. Probably
Yeah.
4.
3 or 4, something like that. Absolutely. If only we had a video record of our sessions and we could
Yeah.
something.
I'll never happen.
Exactly. Yeah, grand. Okay. Anything? Barely used the border tool. I won't save that. That's fine.
Right, well, I'm going to go straight away because I've got to be in the office in the morning.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. It goes smoothly. I'll be off myself very shortly.
Yeah.
Later, gents.
Yeah.
Bye.
folks.
Good night, fellas. Thanks for playing.
Hi, folks.
Yeah, good night.